So the question for this video is, how can you invest your time now the best way possible? Right? We all know this. We all want the next magic piece of advice. We all want to continue watching videos so that hopefully there's like one video with one message that will finally, makes it easier for us to all of a sudden, manifest our goals, move forward, become a new version of ourselves. But I broke it down, I condensed it in this video. The one advice, in my opinion, that you would need to now invest your time the best way possible. Right, so watch this video fully. At the end of the video, you will exactly know how you can now, after watching this video, invest your time the best way to move quickest in your desired states so that they can manifest. Now, as I said in the beginning, most people are looking for that one magic piece of advice that will finally help them, that will finally solve all their problems, that will finally help them to move forward on their manifestation journey. But that is not going to happen, by the way. Right? So yes, you're going to learn. Yes, you're going to understand the principles, how to shift, which techniques to apply, how reality works and all of that. Yes, you are going to understand that better. But there's a good chance that if you watch also my channel, if you watch other content creators, if you watch this video now and this is not your first video on manifestation this week, that you can invest your time better than actually watching YouTube videos. So yes, I know it seems very interesting to watch YouTube videos that appear on your feed. But my goal is that you achieve your goals. My goal is that you live fulfilled. My goal is that you live empowered and not that you stay stuck, or let's just say keep being trapped in a loop of like needing to watch new videos because you always think you're like missing a certain type of advice. Although I invite you to watch whatever you want to watch, whatever feels relevant to you, of course. But still the question is there maybe something better that you can invest your time in than watching a YouTube video? And I would say there is something better, which starts here. Because you can now, instead of watching a YouTube video, you can now ask yourself, just being with yourself, just going into yourself, what do I want? What's my desire now? Right? Suppose you could be who you want to be. Suppose you could have what you want to have. What would you want? Who would you like to be? What's your dream? What lights you up? What sets you on fire? What feels relevant to you? What motivates you? What do you feel the spark for? Right? What right now do you feel is your desire? Or maybe you have several desires. Maybe you have 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you desire to change in your life right now. That's totally allowed. That's totally normal. Right? But first of all, what you can do instead of seeking answers, but actually all the answers are within you. Those videos, like this one, like other ones I produce, like other videos on YouTube, they are pointers. And again, I'm not saying that YouTube videos are not helpful. Of course they are. Of course you can learn from books and videos. But I mean, those are pointers. The answers are still actually already within you. Those videos can simply help you and give you the keys so that you can unlock the right doors within you. But it is still already available. Right? So now instead of watching videos, ask yourself now, first of all, pause and ask yourself now, what do I want? Like, what feels relevant? What is it actually that right now I want to change in my life? The next YouTube video will give me advice that I either already heard or that simply overwhelms me potentially. But let me just pause that and just be with myself and ask me, what do I want? Right, and then second, you can now imagine an act that implies you have achieved your desire. Meaning you can, now that you ask yourself what you want, now that you know that what you want, then you can now start to imagine that. You can now start to identify yourself with that wish-fulfilled version of you, with that version of you that already has achieved the goal, with that state in which it is no longer a desire, but it is an accomplished fact. Right? In that state where you feel the naturalness, you can now imagine yourself and anchor yourself in that state of being. Right? You can see the world through the lens of the version of you that already has the goal. But you can be now in the desired state. And also the third thing that you can do now is that you can now uncritically observe your reactions to life. So do they match the state of the wish fulfilled? That is basically the main indication on if you have moved with him. And if the answer is yes, right, if your reactions basically match the state of the wish fulfilled, meaning you want more finances, the external world shows you lack, the external world shows you red numbers, the external world shows you no financial abundance, but you move in consciousness, you move in your inner reality in that state, and then you open your eyes and you still, maybe you get a bill, but then if your reaction is not, let's just say, not that intense, it's more like neutral, it's more like there is not a reaction because within you already stamped in that new state, then that's perfect. That's a good sign that you have moved, and by you having uncritically observed your reactions, now you see where you dwell within. But if the answer is no, right, if your reaction is still one of scarcity, one of lack, one of shock, one of agitation, one of those type of things, then you have to do step 2 again. Then you have to realign yourself again, and you have to do this radical internal realignment again, so that you are anchored in that new state, because your reactions always come from your state. But before we continue to the next slide, those are the 3 things that you can do now. Even if, like, still watching this video, you can actually do it now, but at least, or latest, would be after this video. You can ask yourself, what do I want now? What implies that I have this now? What would it be like, right, to start and move yourself internally in that state, so that you connect with it, that you become one with it, and then you can also start to now, from now on, you can start to now look at your reactions to life, because they indicate in which states you dwell within. That is what you can do now without needing any other video. So this is what Neville had to say about this, and then I want to give you my straight to the point conclusion on this, so that you understand how you can invest your time the best way when you manifest a goal, right? Because we think it is all about, okay, investing my time best is to, watching 10 content creators, watching the whole YouTube channel of every content creator. And again, to some degree, it is important to learn those principles. Like I said earlier, to some degree, it is, of course, you first need some level of theory so that you can then know what to do and then you apply it. But now this is your wake-up call. This video is your wake-up call. I'm speaking to you right now so that you can now start to apply it without postponing it, without, saying, okay, I'll do this later. No, you can start now. So if you assume that you are now what you want to be, your desire is fulfilled. And in fulfillment, all longing to be is neutralized. Because most people, they continue to stay in this loop of longing to be something, longing to have something, right? Keeping their desire at a distance, projecting it into the future, like hopefully it happens soon. But we need to internally go into fulfillment of the desire, because in fulfillment, in the abundance, in the state of having it, in the state of being it, the longing to get it, the longing to be it is neutralized, right? This also is an excellent check on yourself as to whether or not you have actually succeeded in changing self, and in changing your awareness, and changing the contents of your awareness, right? So if you still continue to long, if you still continue to desire, if you imagine an invisible scale from 0 to 10, and your hunger is still at like a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and meaning your desire for that thing to manifest that is really high, well, you're not fully satisfied. You still desire, you still have the hunger. So then we need to satisfy the hunger by moving into that state where we have it. What would imply it is done? What would a friend say? What would I experience that would imply to me? What can I imaginatively experience and imagine, right, in my inner world, and dwell there so that it becomes more certain to me? And then the desire fades away because we just experienced the wish as fulfilled. Because like Neville said as well, you cannot continue desiring what has been realized. So you have to see here that you realize your desire within you. And then the outside world confirms that you already are what you desired previously, right? So you can't continue desiring what has been realized. If you within are standing in the state of having it, of being it, you no longer desire it. It is done for you. You will no longer look for signs. You will no longer try to make something happen. You will no longer long for it. You will no longer desire it, because it has been realized. It is done for you internally. Rather, you're in the mood of to give thanks for a gift received. Your desire is not something you labor to fulfill. It is recognizing something you already possess, right? I talked in many videos about this. Your desires are states that are ready to be occupied, but they are within you in the here and now. They're not even closer than close. They're not even, they're closer than your own breath, so to speak, right? They're right here, right now, you can now put on the lens and seeing the world through this state of having already achieved your desire. That happens internally. It is assuming the feeling of being that which you desire to be, right? So what is my conclusion? What is the answer to the question, how can you invest your time now? Now that we reached the end of this video, the best way possible when manifesting any desire that you right now want to manifest in your life. So first of all, you can now ask yourself what you now want, right? Not what could I maybe want in 10 years or no. What do you can now ask yourself what you now want, and then you can now assume that you are now who you want to be, right? That you now have what you want to have. You can do that now. You don't need to wait till tomorrow, till hopefully any content creator uploads a new video that you can learn something. Why would you wait for that? Right? You can now ask yourself, if you go within and you have desires, you will find them out. Like, be honest with yourself. If there's right now something you want to bring in your external circumstances, if there's something you want to change, and you ask yourself, what is it that right now I want in my life? You will come up with that desire. You can define it. You can clearly say, hey, that's what I want. Right? And then you can now start to assume. Why would you wait to assume that you already have that? You can, when this video is done, you can now assume it. Dwell in that state, in that mood of now being that, of now having that. You can now start to imagine a scene that implies that. You can now apply any of the techniques that I share on my channel. Just previously on my channel, I did a video on 5 very powerful techniques. You can now pick one of them and now shift into the end state. Right? So you can now, through that, assume that you are now who you previously, before you started to do that, wanted to be, what you previously wanted to have. And now assume that you have it, that you are. Be it here and now. Right? No more waiting, no more hoping, no more seeking. Be it here and now. No more waiting. There is no waiting. Your desires is not something, like Neville also said in the quote previously, that you labor to fulfill. That's something you achieve on the outside. You give yourself within the achievement of the goal. Right? You align yourself in consciousness, in the inner reality, to that level where you have achieved the goal. And then that's done. And then through you will externally, if needed, automatically act under compulsion. Things will change in your circumstances. The bridge will unfold so that you end up externally where you first have positioned yourself internally. As within, so without. But you need to be it here and now. The mirror of life doesn't give you what you want. You can continue to want all of those things, which is simply showing the mirror you don't have them yet. You want them, which means it indicates that it is not done yet. Right? You haven't accepted them as true for you yet. You want them from a future that you project out there. But there is no future. Consciousness, awareness, there's only know the now. So we have to now stand in the wish fulfilled. Therefore, seeking stops. And then the mirror, which is a confirming, delayed mirror, will confirm where we now stand within it. And it can take a while till it reflects it, but that is no longer something that you will be worried about, because you have understood that your reactions to life and your general mood comes from your inner state, not from what is there on the outside, although we got conditioned to believe that. Right? So be it here and now. No more waiting for an outcome. If you want it, then now close your eyes and within align to the state of having it. You don't need to wait for the manifestation. The manifestation does not equal the wish fulfilled. It's not when your manifestation is there that then this heavy weight drops off you. Like finally I have it. No, you have it within. Within is that state of the wish fulfilled. Within you occupy that state of the wish fulfilled, right? You imagine that state. You dwell on that state. You align to that state. And then you no longer need it. And then the outside will confirm it. And the manifestation is the consequence of the wish fulfilled. Right? No more hoping. Hopefully it happens. No, self-empowerment. Now let the weak man say, I am strong. That's what stands in the Bible. Right? You now claim that you are it. Without hoping for life to hopefully, I was good enough. I backed an external entity enough that it hopefully gives it to me. No, you claim now to be it without having any proof for it. Right? An unseen assumption, even if false, even if denied by your senses, if you persist in that new mental image, that new state, has to be reflected back. No more seeking something on the outside, because it wouldn't make sense to seek something in your night's dream. Would you seek something in your night's dream? If you dream at night, you lay on the bed, it is Saturday night, you fall asleep, you lay on your bed, you dream something, If you don't know that you dream, yeah, then in a dream you run away from someone, you try to seek something, you try to get something in the dream. But would you become lucid in the dream, which is becoming conscious in your dream at night, and you notice, hey, wait a sec, this is all happening inside of me. This is all in my mind. I'm just dreaming this right now. Why do I seek this? No, I am the dreamer on the bed. Let me simply dream that I have the financial abundance, the business success, the partnership, the partner that I want, the relationship, the health. Then the content of your dream would change. And now take that to your dream of life. No one is laying on the bed here, but awareness is basically the dreamer. Your consciousness, your imagination, your I amness, right? You internally, so to speak, shine the projector light on a new state, right? You become aware of that state. You're no longer staying so fixated on what is, and what is, and what is, and you keep that in your projector, projecting that out. No, you basically shine the projector on the state you want to be in. This is what you should now have asked yourself, right? What is the state that I want to be in? Who is it that I want to be? Which qualities do I want to have alive? Who would I be if that would be achieved? In which state would I be? How would others describe me, right? In which state of being would I be? And then you imagine that, which is bringing your awareness to that state, which is becoming conscious of that state. And then that is going to be projected out in your dream of life. And then you understand that your life, in a sense, is similar to a dream because it is not solid. There are no facts that are set in stone. You can change it by consciously assuming new things to be true for you. Then your life will show you new things. So isn't that very similar to a dream if it's not fixed, right? So that is it for this video. The core message is now starting, right? Now asking yourself what you want, and then now assuming that you are now it. And that is it, right? If you need help with that, if you want to internalize Neville's principles, if you want to dive deeper, if you want to understand it all in like a, step-by-step process where every stage builds on the next, a proven system that hundreds of people have went through, that hundreds of people have gotten amazing results from. If you want me in your corner, coaching from me, calls with the community where you can literally connect with other people who are on the same journey. You can build friendships, you can hang out with others, and also just have fun. Because oftentimes we take this journey also pretty serious and blame ourselves and judge ourselves. But you want to be in an environment that stabilizes you, that empowers you, that feels genuine and real and authentic. Then join our program today. Join it now. Also, don't wait if you feel drawn to it. It's the second link in the video description. And I look forward to speak to you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.